Hello, my name is Lori, and I've been documenting my journey through cancer and saying what happens to me every month. Right now, I am in the process of getting ready for the actual surgery, which is going to happen on Monday. I have not feeling too much anxiety. I actually feel pretty good about everything. I freaked out all December and got out a lot of feelings, but I've come to the decision that it's time to just bust this out and get through it. The only thing that I'm concerned about is being asleep for 4 or 5 hours while the surgeon and the plastic surgeon work on me. I'm curious to see, what am I going to look like when this is all done? That is something that I guess I'll just find out after. I do have a lot of friends and family coming up. I have a lot of support that is showing up. My pops is showing up, and one of my friends from middle school. Everyone is coming, and my sister even gave me one of those Build-A-Bears that you can, she's like, bring it with you. That'll be me supporting you. Because I'm not sure, she's not going to be able to make it the day of the surgery, but she might come up later that week. Also in this video, I wanted to share with you the books and support that I've been reading. So anybody that is going through cancer right now needs that information or tools. And I will also pull a card from the deck, Gods, Angels, Gods, and Goddesses, for everyone near the end, because that is what I do for a living. I do energy work and readings and art, intuitive art. So let me go to what books I want to talk about first. So the first one we have is Crazy Sexy Cancer Tips by Chris Carr. Now this book was very entertaining. Like, sometimes she cusses in here, and it's nice to have a different perspective. When I opened the book and read it, like, her opening line is, "Congratulations, you have cancer." And I don't think she's trying to make fun of it or anything. It's that she's a survivor herself, and she's sharing her journey through humor. And she talks about food. She talks about how it's important to have a lot of support and friends. And this is the people that she also contributed to this. And this is just, she talks about different things that people can do, how you can occupy yourself, occupy your time. And also, this one has to do, she talks about the pH balance. And for me, when I first started on the cancer journey, if you guys watched the earlier videos, the pH balance was something that I did right away to help myself. And it actually did help me to feel better. Now, there's varying opinions on that, because I think I went to my alternative medicine doctor, and he was just like, you don't need to do that. Just do these supplements and things like that. So he had a different take on it. But I felt that it worked for me. So if something you feel, despite who's telling you what, oh, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, you have to try it for yourself, because cancer is very individual, and what might work for someone else doesn't work for you, or vice versa. And let me see if there's anything else in here. And she talks about finding the healer within. She has a lot of different books. One thing that was very important that she talked about in this is that if it becomes too much, designate someone who will take care of things while you're not feeling well or you're out of it. I did get a little bit bombarded when I first told people. I got bombarded with information, or you should do this, you shouldn't do that, or the doctors and things like that. And I became overwhelmed, and I needed that partner. So I did have my sweetheart help me through this process, and he kind of took on the brunt of, okay, Laurie doesn't want to see anybody right now, or talking to the doctors and supporting me, because sometimes I was just really out of it. So those books are a lot of fun. And if you're in a place where you're depressed, or You know, things like that. Those Chris Carr books are very fun, and it helps you to see it in a different light. And she says a lot of common sense things. Now, the next one that we have is Curing Cancer with Carrots. Now, I was told it's by Ann Cameron. I was told about this by someone who she did extensive research because she wanted to make sure, you know what, if something happens to me, I'm going to go to what I think is the best thing. And at the time, I was like, you know what, I'll try anything. Even though I was kind of skeptical, like I know that nutrition and food are very important and play a role. But for me, I think juicing carrots every day, and you have to have a certain amount each day, it can get tough. So I did buy a juicer. I did do this. It can change your skin, different colors. If you go on Amazon, there's a ton of reviews that talk about people using this and that it did help them to reduce it. But one thing that's very important and that I read is that she went and she got the cancer removed and then started this. Okay, so that's very important. A lot of people are like, I'm not doing chemo, I'm not doing anything, I'm just going to have nutrition. But you know what? I think that alternative and, regular medicine go hand in hand. And that has helped me to kind of shrink down my cancer and just have scar tissue. So for this, it is a good book to read. It's short and sweet. Let me see if there's anything in particular. I feel like this does talk about, she talks about caution and chemotherapy, which she is right about that. I know, but this book was written some time ago. So modern medicine, they know that people suffer, and they're trying to alleviate the suffering as much as possible. Let me think about, so this is something that I did look into, that I do, but I don't do it consistently because you have to be very dedicated to it. And I found that, I have to be honest with you, I would get lazy and I would get tired of carrots. Now, another book that kind of goes hand in hand with this is Chris Beat Cancer, and he has his own YouTube page. And I found him, and at first I was like, is this guy just doing this to make money? Is he making money off of cancer? You know, but I read his story, I read everything about him, and I found that it was very interesting. And he talks about so many different things that people don't talk about. How the air that you breathe can, affect you. Electronic devices, all types of stuff he talks about in this book. And he has a recipe for a smoothie. He does talk about carrots as well and adding carrots. We have massive action steps for detoxification. So he gives you these step-by-step things that you can do. He also talks about the emotional aspect, that it's very important to deal with that. That a lot of times we have all these negative emotions built up in our body, and it does manifest as an illness if we don't take care of ourselves properly or face things. Another thing that I read about him is that he did the same thing as with Ann Cameron. He went and got the operation to get the cancer removed, and then he started the food quest. So that's very important, okay, to know that. Because a lot of people I saw on YouTube, I went and followed people who had cancer and they were doing it naturally. Some of these people, they did not live. They were good and healthy while they followed their regimen and their plan. But then one guy I particularly watched, I might have talked about him in other videos, but he just got sick by something, and then bam, the cancer's back. And then by that time, it was too late, and he was getting chemotherapy and all that. That's not the case for everybody, though. But you really do have to know that these people, they did not just do a food plan and I'm screw medical science, I'm not doing anything. They got the cancer removed at least. And then they went on the plans. Okay, so that's important to know. And let me see if there's anything else in here. A cancer cause right under your nose. And that's when he talks about cleaning up your life, cleaning up the air that you breathe. Electro pollution. Is your job toxic? How to reduce harmful EMF exposure in your home. So he talks about everything. It's not just about food. So that's what I like about him. And he even mentioned something about cell phone radiation. I'm not giving you the exact details, but I'm just trying to tell you. And this also has massive action steps for exercise and rest. So he really does give you things to follow. And I found that it makes my life easier, and it gives me something to look forward to. Okay, what do I need to work on today? What do I need to have today? So some of them is the massive action steps. Commit to 30 to 60 minutes of aerobic exercise per day. Exercise outside in the fresh air and get sunshine. So stand up every hour or so. Take a walk. Eat your meals in an 11-hour window. And this one, he talks about stress and negative emotions. I feel like he does hit a lot of stuff that is very important. So take what resonates for you from this. Now, another book, and I love my angels. Archangel Raphael is the healer angel. He also helps mind, body, soul. I started reading this particularly when I was feeling very sick every day. It's by Doreen Virtue. You could probably get it on Amazon. And see how I have all the little tab holders in there. This book is very powerful. He has prayers. He talks about everything. What is very important out of this book is how he talks about people can get in the way from their own healing. And I'll give you the prayers, okay? This has to do with control issues, getting out of the way and flowing through the process. Dear God, please help me relax, trust, and have faith in your miraculous ability to restore my health. Please help me get out of the way so that you and the angels can have full access to my mind, body, and spirit in the name of divine healing. Amen. And now down here, this is very important. Your free will is key. Dear God and Archangel Raphael, I want a healing. I now fully open my heart and mind to you. I ask that you release any known and unknown fears about being healthy. So I'm going to stop right there and talk about that. Sometimes people get caught up in it. Like when I found out I first had cancer, everybody was giving me gifts. People were showing up. And I was like, wow, I'm getting so much attention. You can get addicted to that attention and want it. And that, I feel like if you're in the wrong mindset, that could hamper your healing. I saw on Instagram, there's this girl who was bald-headed, and she just kept posting photos of her like that. And you could tell she was doing this stuff for attention. And I'm just like, okay, is that really healthy for her right now? That she's embellishing that? Shouldn't she be focusing on healing? And this is an example. Secondary gain elements from illness. Associated with illness, such as receiving sympathy or disability payments, feeling undeserving of heaven's help, fear of taking responsibility for your health. Those are some things that can be on a subconscious level. I fully desire with my free will to be open to receiving your healing miracles. I do get a feeling to talk about Archangel Gabriel as well. That Gabriel also, depending on who you follow or know about the angels, that he does work with healing people as well, and communication. He's saying that communication is very important for people on their path to wellness, to health and well-being. To talk about their emotions, to feel things, and then release it or surrender it to their angels and their spirit team. And he has different sections with prayers on it. And so if you're like, you know what, I've learned a lot from this experience and I want to be a divine healer, then you can work with Raphael and connect with him. And I'll say to you that every time I read this book, I feel the healing energy come through. The green healing light comes through and I feel it work on me every time. And he also has stuff about protecting pets, things with children. There's a lot of different subjects in here, but I like the back. And in the back, these are prayers for different things going on in your body. So I'll kind of just go from front to back and kind of go on the different areas. Like, I'll tell you something about they have one about appetite. So one thing that I was going through was emotional eating. So I was finding comfort in food, and I know that's not particularly healthy for people when you have cancer, but also the steroids that I was on were making me angry, and I was gaining and retaining weight that way also. But when I worked on this, he has like 2 prayers about appetite and food. I found that if I did it consistently, that I got to the point where I wasn't overeating and I wasn't caring about food as I should be. It was just like, okay, I'm hungry, I'll eat, I'll stop when I'm full. Instead of, okay, I feel anxiety, I want to eat something, I feel better, and then I just keep eating even though my stomach's full. So that's my example from working through this. So there's so many different prayers for different parts of the body, and a lot of these prayers talk about emotional components and releasing. He also talks about grief in here. So I've been, as with the angels, it always has to be on a consistent basis. It can't just be, okay, I do it for one day and then 2 weeks later, wow, why am I not healed? Because you have to work with them consistently every day to see the results, to see things happen. And another thing that they're telling me, let's see, what else? Archangel Raphael. Okay, I'm gonna switch subjects now. I thought they were telling me something, but it left. Now I'm gonna bring up these other 2 books. I've been using these because I do Reiki energy work. Angel Energy Healing, which is you call in the angels and you work with them to help someone. We have Change Your Aura, Change Your Life, in the Healing Power of Your Aura by Dimitri and Barbara. Or should I say Barbara first. And she is very gifted, and so is Dimitri, and they co-authored these books. They're very important about aura healing, and it's kind of like you call in this energy, you prepare yourself, and then these different colors heal different areas or different things in your body, okay? And an example of this is this book is particularly good because it talks about symptoms and what's the emotional component behind something. So this is kind of what the page looked like. So let's say you're having a problem with your ears, you go and you read about it, and it says what colors or lights to use. And the colors and the lights are essentially like the Holy Spirit, but the archangels, your higher celestial forces help you and your higher self, and you channel in these different colors, lights that help people and help yourself. And then these are the prayers that you use to kind of bring in that energy. And I'll tell you, I use this book after chemo. I would do this every day, and I would see that my spirits were uplifted. I would see that I felt better. Like sometimes I would have such a mind fog, and then this one has a section in there where it clears out the clutter of your mind and emotional healing. So I would end up feeling a lot better, or it was like it rebalanced my body. Okay, so that's something to look into also. And then the last one is Planetary Healing, Spirit Medicine for Global Transformation. This is a very powerful book as well, and I got it in the shamanism section at the store where I do readings. And it was kind of like I was just guided there, and I opened the page right away. I don't know if I could do it again right now, but it talked about cancer. And I was like, okay, this book is for me. And it has like different vision quests or journeying that you can go on, and how you can work with other people to kind of visualize the cancer leaving the body. It is very powerful. So if you're open to this, I would suggest this. This could be for somebody into shamanism, or they're curious and they want to learn more about their body and different ways to heal. So it has, and then here, that's an example of like a journey that you can do. So if you like to meditate and go on different vision quests, this would be for you. I'm still reading this book, so I don't know everything about it, but it is just, it comes with a CD also, Making Spirit Medicine. Okay, so this book is another one that I've been utilizing. Now I'm going to end this, since I'm a reader, I'm going to end this with a card. And we have Angel of Diet and Nutrition. Pay attention to what you eat and drink, and you intuitively know what is good for you. So if you made it this far, I know with the internet and everything, it's like everybody has ADD now and they can't watch anything long. This is the card for you, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and thank you everyone for listening, and take care.